My name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video I'm going to be covering fragrances that every man can pull off. Starting things off, we've got Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male, or as my father would call it, the man in the bottle. This one is from the 90s. It's fruity, it's sweet, and it's got a heavy dose of vanilla. That may sound like it's feminine, but it really isn't. It's pretty masculine. And it sort of has a fabric softener touch as well. It's very mass appealing, and I know people criticize it for being from the 90s and it's smelling dated, but I feel like enough people have gone without wearing this now that it's sort of come full circle and it's fresh again. So if you haven't tried this yet, if you haven't tried Le Male yet, definitely check it out. It's pretty affordable. This little guy cost you about $55, and at that price it's an absolute steal. And people love it, and I feel like any man can pull this one off, so check it out. Following that, we've got Mont Blanc Explorer. This one is a clone of Creed's Aventus. It's like 90-95% of the way there. It's not quite as smoky as Club de Nuit Intense for Men, for example, and it's not quite as fruity as, you know, the original Aventus. But in saying that though, it's a good cross between the original Aventus and Club de Nuit Intense for Men. I doubt there's a person on earth that would dislike this fragrance, and for that reason, I think any man can wear it and pull it off. It's very versatile, sort of like one of those all seasons, all occasions scents. It may linger a little too much in high heat, but apart from that, you should be able to wear it with no problems. And it costs about, you know, $75 Australian a bottle, but the performance is fantastic and you should just check it out anyway. Here is what the box looks like, just in case you wanted to have a gaze at the box. My mic has failed 3 times now, so if it seems like I'm a little over it, it's because this is the first time the mic is actually working. I can see the sound meter and it's working, thank God. Next up is as ancient as men's perfumery is, basically, well, modern perfumery at least, Old Spice. This is a fantastic fragrance and any man can wear this one. However, it will take you a couple of tries to get accustomed to it, but after you sort of grow accustomed to it, you'll love it, and for that reason any man can pull this one off. It's aromatic, it's got a touch of sweetness, it's a little warm, it's spicy, and it's one of those great fragrances that you can wear after you shave or after you shower. Just look at that. It's the epitome of masculinity. It's just a great design. Smells fantastic. I took to this one pretty quickly. I didn't have to sort of have that period of time where I had to get used to it, but I know some men do, and I know maybe your partner is in that same situation. They'll have to sort of grow to either love it or hate it, but regardless of that, you should be able to pull this one off without any problems. And you'll get a lot of compliments for it because it's familiar to people and they're not going to quite be able to put their finger on what it is unless they've worn it themselves. So for $10 a bottle, definitely check this one out. Next up is CK1's Shock. This is a good introduction to oriental fragrances and tobacco fragrances. It is primarily a cold weather scent, but as far as tobacco forward fragrances go, this is one of the few that you can sort of wear in almost all situations and seasons. I definitely wouldn't be wearing it in high heat, but if you only apply 1 or 2 sprays, you can pull this one off in summer because it is a CK1 flanker and it does have a touch of freshness in the opening. It's sort of got a really vibrant, almost floral feel to it. And then it just, as it dries, it becomes more tobacco forward, and it's just a fantastic fragrance. So if you don't own this, it's $35, just check it out. I've already covered this one quite a few times, so I'm only going to mention it briefly. Davidoff Cool Water Parfum. It smells like Dior Sauvage, but it's significantly less expensive. So for that reason, any man can pull it off because that's one of those fragrances that just is absolutely mass appealing. And at like $40 to $50 a bottle, you may as well take a chance on it. And finally, last but not least, Bulgari Man's Black Cologne. This is one of those really versatile fragrances, similar to Aventus or Mont Blanc Explorer, for example. This is one of those fragrances that is cool enough to be worn in the warm weather, but warm enough to be worn in the cool weather. It's incredibly versatile, one of the most versatile fragrances you'll own, and it smells fantastic. It's got a rich amber, sort of synthetic-y ambroxan note. It's not quite as animalic as an ambergris or something like that, but it does last quite a while on your skin, and it's got a lot of citrus in the opening. It just smells fantastic. It's really classy as well. And the good thing about black cologne is that chances are you'll be the only person in the room wearing it, as almost nobody wears this one. It's $60 Australian for 100 ml. Definitely just check it out. Anyway, that's about all that I've got to say on these fragrances today. If you've ever worn them before, let me know in the comments below, and I'm keen to hear your favorites of the bunch. And until the next video, my name is Aussie myself, and I'll catch you guys around.